Good morning and welcome to Being Your Own CEO, our weekly hangout for solo entrepreneurs. The purpose of this success circle is to share information, support one another, and bring about positive change. So my name is Lowell Ann Fulsang, and I've been in business since 1996, helping people get where they want to go. So good morning, everyone. I'm so happy that you joined me, and as usual, we will begin with an introduction, just to give everyone an opportunity to introduce themselves and say a little bit about what they do. So, Anne, how would you like to begin? You're on the extreme left this morning on my screen.
Excellent. Excellent. So my name is Anne Divertine. This is Visionary Solutions, and I provide small bookkeeping and office management for small businesses. And you may notice me gazing lovingly at my elbow today, and that is because I have my brand new grandson with me.
Oh, very good. I thought I heard some cooing.
Yeah, he sings a lot.
Oh, very good.
So here he is. He has a few comments on customer service.
Welcome to Google Plus, little child.
What's his name, Anne?
His name is Henry, and he is, let me think, almost a week old. No, almost a week old. Oh my goodness.
And he's already on the internet.
Yeah, he's hanging out. He's on a hangout. So it's quite interesting, though. I realized that you can sit here on a hangout with a baby, and no one would even know unless they start making noises. Like, I'm just sitting where I normally sit, and you can't even see them.
Yeah.
So so I'll keep gazing over, and I'm gonna hit the baby, not my elbow. Not in love.
So this is Henry's debut session.
Yes, Henry's debut on the internet.
Right on. So thanks for joining us, Anne. Even though I know you have a house full of company.
I do.
Yeah. So Greg, how about you? You're next to Anne in the film strip.
Well, I'm a local SEO guy. I help local businesses in my part of Western New York to get their presence felt online. And I run a local directory and get some advertising revenue and things like that. So it's a work in progress.
Right on. So happy you were able to join us this morning. Welcome again, Craig.
Well, thank you.
And Jay, how about you?
Hi, my name is Jay, and my company is affiliateresources.org, and I teach people how to start an online business.
Oh, right on. So you've been on the mend lately. How is that going?
It's going good. I'm a little impatient that I'm not 100% yet, but every day, and I've learned a new appreciation for air.
For air.
Yes, for air. breathing air.
Breathing.
When I was in the hospital, I had such a short breath span. Yeah.
Right on. So it's so good to see you on the mend and back at your desk, etc.
Yes.
Right on. So Nathan, how about you? You finished your breakfast?
Yeah, I did. It took a very long time to cook that oatmeal, much longer than I expected. Anyway. Normally I would just say that my spiel is about writing and so on, but truth is I'm in transition and really don't know what that's going to look like. Best I can give you right now.
Right on. So it's we need to remind our visitors that we're kind of spread all over the place this morning, aren't we? So 3 of us are here in Victoria, British Columbia, and Craig is on the East Coast, and Nathan is in Mexico. Are you on the left or the right coast, Nathan?
That's a funny question, actually, because, well, the reason it's a funny question is because I'm actually on the Baja, which theoretically would be the West Coast, but it's, well, I mean, if you look at the landmass, the Baja is like 1,500 kilometers long. I just happened to be at the upper end. So, yeah, I'm on the same coastline as you. I hadn't thought about it for a while, but I used to be on the East Coast, which would have been the Sea of Cortez, and I'm not there now.
Right.
Same.
So, but the Baja Peninsula, are you on which side of it are you?
I'm on the west side of it. I'm on the Pacific side, so
Okay. Right
yeah. I was going to the same side as you, but that's not true because you're on Vancouver Islands.
East side.
Yeah.
I'd see you across the water from here. I'm sorry, it's about, I don't know, 1,600 kilometers. No, longer than that. 1,600 miles from here.
Right.
Yeah.
So I might introduce myself a little bit more deeply in my work style, lifestyle coaching work. I just love helping solo entrepreneurs find direction, keep their motivation, and build some systems that both support and promote their business, so that they're working much more in flow. And I like to introduce, as one of their systems, I like to introduce the whole Google experience, Google Plus experience, etc. And I also teach a 3-part program on beginners Google for business especially for solopreneurs. So, and my announcement that I have, I've made a decision. I'm going to start up a community on Google Plus. So I've been researching like crazy and watching and listening to all kinds of hangouts about the pros and cons and the best way to make use of Google Plus community. So
that's great.
There'll be more.
I actually just did a webinar on Google Plus communities 2 weeks ago.
Did you really?
Yeah,
cool.
Talking about the positive benefits of having a community, ranging from, interacting and it's almost like networking, online networking, and also building a unique following. And you can get actually tons of traffic and great ideas for blog posts and whatnot. So I fully support having your own Google Plus community. Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm seriously considering it as well. So the timing of what you're talking about is perfect.
Oh, well, maybe I can keep you all posted as to what I'm discovering. That my biggest question right now is, should I do it as a personal profile, or should I develop a page, a Google Plus page? And I'm not 100% sure of which way I'm going to go just yet, and to try to think about the pros and cons of that. But I understand that I really need to make that decision before I set up the community. So.
Well, based on your lower third, you're branding yourself now. It seems like you're branding yourself, so I would go that route.
Well, that's been my thinking, for sure, is that if I went as myself. But anyway, I'm thinking about that. But I might mention to those who might be watching outside is that I belong to Ronnie Bincer's Hangout Mastery Group, and recently there were actually 2 hangouts that were about running your hangouts on air from within your community, and the pros and cons and why you might want to do that. And it was the why that attracted me, so I've been looking at that seriously. So
Craig and I know someone that do that directly within their own little communities. They do their hangouts on air within the community. So and as far as I know, they he doesn't have any complaints about it, and it works quite well. The community has about, I think, 1,500 members. So he certainly gets enough people to attend.
Yeah, and I'm interested in some of the many aspects of this whole community, like building an email list and stuff like that, because I'm thinking if I tap into this, like creating a community, it would be much easier to build a presence online than what I've been doing otherwise. Just one of the biggest challenges is building the email list, and I don't know if you can get the visitors to a Google community and put them on the list, or whether that only exists within the Hangouts. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, you can direct them from Aweber or whatever your email program first, and then redirect them to the community join page.
Uh-huh. Well, from what I heard in the sessions that I've watched, the advantage is that you can create a link to an event that's within your community, and you can post those links to other platforms like Facebook and all the others, so that people can watch and participate, or at least they can watch from other platforms. And if they're watching, if they want to participate directly, then they have to join the community.
Yeah.
So there are lots of ways to do it, and there are some really interesting technical approaches to doing that. So that's where I'm spending my time, and I think this kind of leads us reasonably well into what we sort of wanted to talk about this morning, and that is how we can enhance our clients' experience using mobile or what we do on mobile. And I guess that's the link I see from what we were just talking about was a number of people find the whole Google Plus experience somewhat confusing and complicated. And I'm told that by doing a community, there's a way to simplify it for the user. So I'm all for making it simple. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's what people want, is if you build a community, whether it's a free or paid, whether it's on mobile, tablet, or desktop, the end result needs to be easy. People need to access the information that they're wanting within 2 clicks, essentially, So, I mean, the positives about a Google Plus community, even when you're on your phone, is if you're already logged into Google, your Google account, you don't need to log in once again. So it just kind of remembers your profile. So you can literally go to your community or go to a community, and if you're already a member of that community, you don't have to log in. You just have to click on the community. Yeah. And as a moderator, when you post something, whether it be an event, a link, just content, you can send an email out to everyone within the community. So when I get that email and I say, oh, okay, it looks like Joe posted something, I just click on the link, and then whoosh, there I am. I'm right inside the community. I don't need to log in. Whereas if you use something like WordPress, I need to log in first, and logging in on your phone, I think is I personally don't like logging in on my phone just because you have to kind of, so.
Yeah, right. So I see that Nathan has just posted a comment. Do you want to comment on that, Nathan?
Yeah, sure. Well, we're talking about mobile from the perspective of the customer and enhancing the customer experience. Now, I just happen to be in the ultimate geek position of having reviewed and written about a whole bunch of different mobile programs. And the one that I found that I like the best and it's the easiest to set up is a third-party service called GoMobi. Mm-hmm. You can get through providers like HostPapa or OpenSRS in Canada. Now, the wonderful thing about GoMobi is that it's designed so that it will work with over 6,000 different devices. It's a web page rather than an app. If it was an app, you have to build one for each device. That's expensive, but Mobi is a web page, so it will work really well on tablets as well as the mobile device, their phone. And I built a whole bunch of these sites for different people. And it's really easy to set it up. And some of the really cool features in it, like if you want people to be able to find your business, one of the really cool features is the GPS. And with the GPS, if a customer is on the go on their phone, they can literally click on the GPS and they will get a map with directions to how to get to your business. It's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
They can interact with you, they can call you from their phone, they can email you, they can refer you to a friend, they can do all sorts of really cool stuff. And even though it's a third-party service rather than one that's integrated with, say, your current browser, I recommend it because it's so easy to use and it's very flexible. And it's only, last time I checked, it was about $4.95 a month. So it's not very much.
All right. So simplicity and thank you, Nathan. I'm certainly go and have a look at it and see what I think about it. I just wanted to make sure that we were all clear that when we speak about mobile, we are referring to both the smartphone and the tablet because they really do function the same, except for the fact that the tablet does not have a phone service. So I guess if you were working from a tablet, you would want to use something like Google Phone. So you could make a phone call from your tablet if you knew how to do it. So.
Well, they also have now the phablets, which is the hybrid between a tablet and a phone, right? These iPhone 6s, right? These massive things where you can get a whole 2 hands. You know, I think we're regressing back to the old days of these massive phones. You know?
Well, I must admit that I find my phone is really really important in what I'm doing and so forth. But I'm like you, Jay. I don't like having to constantly log into things, and I don't really want to be able to need to type much because I don't know, my fingers seem to be too fat for a smartphone.
I doubt that. I think it's the keypad on your phone more than your fingers. I can't see you having fingers bigger than mine, okay?
Yeah, I guess we all have that experience. So let's see if we can sort of get to that. So how can we in our businesses enhance our clients' experience using mobile? Any ideas of I mean, in terms of the clients that you work with? And what about you?
I have a comment. I haven't used this a lot, but of course, as I say almost every week, cloud accounting is becoming a really big thing in the bookkeeping world. And one of the things I had noticed is that I was getting a lot of referrals from a cloud accounting program, quite a few in the last few weeks. And I thought, but it's not the program that I prefer. So I thought I got to look at what's going on. And of course, I tend to look at it from my computer, but I opened up my phone because these people that are phoning me are saying, "Oh yeah, I'm using this program on my phone." So I went to the program I prefer. It has a terrible, terrible mobile phone app. It doesn't work at all. And the one that I'm getting all the referrals from on the phone works beautifully. And even though it's about 3 times the cost, it's still not terribly expensive. Everybody is enjoying it. I'm getting referrals from it because they're all going to the site. It's easy to use. And I thought, well, yeah, there's no point in me recommending a program that I like when it doesn't work for my customers at all. Now, the interesting thing is that company just released a new app. They must have realized. I was about to phone them and say, look, you guys, you're really falling behind here because all my customers in their 30s that are, you know, the young entrepreneurs you're trying to catch that love cloud, you know, cloud everything, hate your app because it's crap. It's no good. They came out with something new. I haven't checked it out yet.
So you have a directory listing inside their
Yeah,
cloud?
so I'm listed
Okay.
as a consultant in about 3 or 4 different cloud accounting
Right.
programs.
Oh, interesting.
One, FreshBooks, is the one that I get all my referrals from.
Yeah.
And they advertise on the sort of media that those sort of 30-year-old.
Yeah, I use FreshBooks. I love it.
Yeah, everybody does, even though it's way more expensive and it does not have the functionality that some of the others have. Like from a bookkeeper's point of view, I'm like, it's not a very good program.
Yeah.
From a customer's point of view, they love it because
Yeah,
it
it's
does
easy.
what they want it to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to learn how to work with it a little bit better.
Oh, isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
I'll have to tell you, I spent a good portion of, a couple of days ago, I guess, trying to figure out how to put a PayPal button on my QuickBooks invoice.
Oh.
Ah!
I remember you mentioned this before in the past.
So did you finally?
How many times are you going to touch that hot stove, Lynn?
Well, and I finally realized the reason it doesn't work, and this is not well, I don't know whose fault it is, but the only way it'll work is if you've got Outlook connected to your QuickBooks.
And that's ridiculous.
I don't use Outlook, so.
Hmm.
So I've been looking quite seriously, based on some of recommendations that you folks made last week about different ways to do different things. So I spent a whole day on it.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But you mentioned about the PayPal button. That's something that you can set up different products within the Go Multi interface, and you can add PayPal buttons to them.
Yeah.
If you've got a catalog of services, that's one thing you could do. It's actually really easy.
Yeah.
You can use PayPal, or I think it's Google Checkout as well. So you've got a couple of options.
Google Checkout, I've never heard of.
No.
I believe so, and that's assuming that it's still around with the way that Google keeps changing things. But last time I looked,
It's more US based than Canada.
Is it? I know there's Google Wallet, but I've never heard of Google Checkout. So.
So, Lauren, out of curiosity, did you phone QuickBooks and ask them for help in doing what you were trying to do?
No, I didn't.
And so I'm curious, why wouldn't you do that?
Well, because I did some research, and I think I've already used up the one free technical help option that you have each time you upgrade. And as I was doing my research, I realized that the later versions, I've got an earlier version of QuickBooks, sort of takes care of a couple of things. And then what I was trying to do was figure out whether it would be worthwhile to go with the cloud version of QuickBooks, and I haven't decided on that yet. So
right. Well, we should talk afterwards.
I like to do my research first.
Yeah, we should talk afterwards. I'll give you a few.
Oh, I would love to have a chat about that, Anne.
Sure. Yeah.
Right on. So getting back to our topic. Anne is suggesting that we pay attention to the things that our clients say they would like to have and would like to use, and try to accommodate that. Any other ideas around helping our clients have a better experience of our service?
Well, I recently experienced something called proximity marketing with an app on my phone, and I was at a mall, and close to this mall is a movie theater, and I have an app specifically for that corporation, Cineplex movie theater, and when I drove up to and I parked, all of a sudden this little notification showed up on my phone saying, "Hey, why don't you go see a movie?" Right? And it's because the app recognized that I was close to one of their movie theaters, and so it showed me, what was coming up pretty soon. I thought it was like, from a marketing, like from a personal experience, it was annoying a little bit. From a marketing experience, I think it was brilliant, and I don't know if any of you have ever experienced proximity marketing, and I think it's just, it's been around since around like 2011, and it doesn't happen too often, especially here in Canada, but because I think a lot of people find it intrusive. But I think we're on kind of the cusp as to when that's going to become mainstream. And I think we're still far away from small businesses using it. Like, for example, if you own a small brick and mortar store, like with a physical location where you want people to come to your location, I think having like what Nathan was mentioning, like a kind of a GPS element where people can help find it. So, I think at the core, mobile's good for helping clients discover where you are, right? But I don't think we're going to be doing proximity marketing anytime soon. Yeah, I just thought I wanted to mention that. It was really interesting to see that from my marketer's eyes. Wow, that was pretty slick.
So was this an app that you have on your phone?
Yeah, it's a Cineplex app.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and what it does is, it's called Scenes, Cineplex Scene. And basically, what it does is I can actually I usually buy my tickets on my phone before we go to the theater, and because I've got a scene card and I get points and you get free movies and whatnot. But the other cool thing about this app is once I purchase the tickets, whether through credit card or through my PayPal, I don't need to print them out. They have a little kiosk at the movie theater where I can just slide my phone under it that exposes the little UPC code, and then it prints out the tickets there.
Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat, although it doesn't make sense to me because the code, this QR code kiosk thing at the theater is literally within 6 feet of where you actually have to hand in your tickets. Why don't they just have like a little gun or like have the guy see you do your QR things? That way it doesn't spit out 4 pieces of paper.
I'm kidding.
Because it
Right?
makes much sense. But
Yeah.
then again, you have to show your tickets to what, the usher or something when you're going into
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, is the kiosk is right there, and then the usher is right here. So it spits out the tickets, and you literally just turn around, and there you go. So they should have a little gun, because at the concession stands, they have the little radar gun thing to scan your phone's UPC code for your scene card. So there's no rhyme or reason. It's the same technology. So they should be doing that at the kiosk. And then they can become as much of a paperless environment as possible. Lower their carbon footprint.
And advertise that.
So
Sounds like an opportunity to me, Jay. Just walk in.
So
Tell
what
them
I think
you have this wonderful new technology for them.
Yeah.
say again.
Tell them you have this wonderful new technology for them. Oh, and they're already using it.
And they're already using it, yeah.
Well, I was going to mention that I do something similar with Starbucks. If you got the Starbucks app, you can load it up, and that way, if I'm out in my early morning walk and stop in, I don't have to carry any money.
Mm-hmm.
And but the thing that I've noticed about my own reaction and my own use of that is I find now, as a customer of a lot of other places, I find myself being a little bit frustrated because I can't do the same thing. So, you know, wouldn't it be nice to be able to do that at the grocery store or wherever, in restaurants or whatever? I mean, I'm finding I don't have a whole lot of patience with the, as you had said earlier, Jay, about being able to do things with not more than 2 clicks, you know, and if you're carrying this gizmo around all the time, why, I mean, why not make use of it for almost everything that you're doing?
Yeah.
So I was trying to think, and when I was preparing for this morning, I was trying to think, all right, so for my business, what could I do to enhance and make my clients' life easier? So one of them was to be able to send them an invoice that allows them to just click on the invoice and do a PayPal or whatever way they want to pay. So that's one thing that I see as an enhancement for my clients. But then I got to thinking about things like scheduling. Because I think it's you know, we all like to make appointments and do all those things on our phones. And so I've started thinking about and doing some research on scheduling, so that if somebody wants to schedule a consultation or a coffee date or whatever, that would be easy for them. So that's one way that I've been looking at. I haven't made any decisions yet. Just still doing a little bit of research on different scheduling applications. So
Yeah. I know of an app, or sorry, a program that you can integrate into your website. I experienced it yesterday.
oh,
One moment.
With my search and rescue team, we've integrated a Google Calendar right into the website. So 4 of us have access to be able to change it, and then everyone else has read access. So
is now I'm assuming that would be a WordPress site.
that is a WordPress site, yes.
Yeah.
I converted it. There was some pushback from other members of the team, but yeah, I was able to convert it to WordPress.
Wow. So that's something that I hadn't thought of, because that would because I use the Google Calendar extensively, so that would be an idea for sure.
I just put a link up there to Acuity Scheduling. That's the program that I discovered, and it's $10 a month for like a basic one, and it does integrate into your Google Calendar. But it's an online scheduling app, so that if you want to have people book appointments with you, you can do it. They can book it online, so you get this notification, and then it grays out areas that you're committed to.
Right.
So I think it's for a solopreneur, I think it's a really affordable solution if you're into a system where you want to, start scheduling and kind of automate that process a little bit. You can also integrate it into your own website, or you can. There's a couple of options. You can integrate it into your site through like an iframe, or you can. They give you what's called a subdomain, so it'd be like laolan.acuityscheduling.com, and then you can brand it the same as yours, so that it's very seamless between that transition. It's responsive, so it integrates into a phone as well.
Wow. So
there's one question about that is, if I were to use that, if I were to go to, say, Lolan's site, and I use that, will it then automatically put that into my Google Calendar, what my appointment is? Because I love when I sign up for something and I can click on it and get
Yes, it has a two-way communication, so it does it to you. So you can, as a customer, that goes into your calendar, and then also as the vendor, it goes into your calendar also.
That's great. That's that's what I really like. If I make an appointment with someone or I sign up for a course, boom, it's on my Google Plus calendar.
Yeah, and then you can set your business hours so that it blocks out certain days, so you don't have people scheduling on Sunday at 6 a.m.
Yeah, no, that's great.
That's one problem for you West Coasters that have East Coast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because it's halfway through the day here.
Yeah.
Well, I think in Google Calendar there you can have more than doesn't it convert to time zone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's a piece that I hadn't thought about. So thank you very much, Jay. That whole idea of being able to integrate with my Google Calendar, that would be really useful for me, as well as making it easier for my prospective clients and so
yeah,
forth.
And plus they have an affiliate program as well, so that if you were to refer that software, that system to your clients, you can then get a little bit of a kickback from there.
Yeah.
I think you have a 30-day referral, $30 referral system for each referral. So.
Right on. So, I mean, I'm thinking about our principles now that we're thinking about convenience, that being able to do something that links up with some of the things that the bulk of our clients are using. That's one way to enhance their experience, and that it not require a whole lot of clicks and sign-ins and so forth. Anything else come to mind?
Well, I think, when it comes to the difference between an app and responsive design, I think a lot of small businesses feel that they need to create an app for some reason, like for their website. And I'm of the opinion that small businesses do not need to create an app unless it's the type of business where they can use the app frequently. I mean, I've seen this thing where if you visit a specific local website on a phone and this little thing pops up, download our app. We've got an app. Check it out. Right? So what the heck? Might as well download the app. But then, the intention of just the app is it's the exact carbon copy of their website, but it's in an app format. And to me, that doesn't make any sense, because now I've taken like 4 extra steps to download this app where I just wanted to access the same information from their website. I manage a cab company's marketing here in Victoria, and they have an app, but we can propagate, or we can justify the reasoning for their app where they can book a taxi online. So yes, we can push that local app, but a consulting service doesn't need to have an app. But I think the general small business industry is misinformed in terms of what they need to do to have a presence online via phone. There's lots of responsive themes, like if you have a WordPress site, lots of responsive themes that automatically adapt to the browser. So if I'm looking at your site on a phone, it automatically changes. I don't need to have any kind of app to be able to experience. So that's the one thing I find a little bit annoying, is that people are thinking that they need to have this app, where in reality they don't. Because when you have an app, you also have to, every time you update your website, you also have to update your app. So it's twice the amount of work. And since we've been kind of talking about simplicity, throughout today, I think it's the responsive design is really the way to go.
I typically will avoid downloading any apps. My phone is old, it's rugged, but it doesn't have a lot of memory. So whenever I put something on my phone, it better be something that I use daily or at least frequently.
You give it an interview before you actually decide to download it, right?
What's that?
I say you give it an interview before you actually decide that, well, okay, I think you're worthy of my phone.
Well,
I will
that's
download it.
I have limited resources on my phone, and,
Yeah.
you know, so if it's not Google,
Yeah. So, a perfect example with that would be, if you see something and it's kind of not forcing you to do an app to download their app, but it's poking you several times. Download our app, download our app. You're as a customer, you're potentially going to become annoyed and go away and find someone else.
Well,
Yeah,
and
oh,
the other
sorry.
thing that I think is as a small business person with a website, why would I want to get somebody to do something that takes people away from the website? I want them to be, I want it to go the other way.
Yeah.
So anything that keeps them on my website is going to be going to work much better for me.
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. Yeah.
and it also pushes people into the dark web, right? I mean, it puts them in a place where you can't track what they're doing, or can you in most apps? Is that
It was very limited in terms of mobile or app analytics.
I feel like Craig does, but for a different reason. I have lots of space on my phone, but I find it annoying to download apps, especially for a store or something like that, because if I'm out and I want to know something, I'm going to go to Google on my phone, and I'm going to Google that store or whatever it is, and then it's like, oh, do you want our app? I'm like, oh crap, I already have it on the phone. I got to go out of Google into your app. I don't want to do that. I want to go to Google. I want to look up your whatever I want and go there. So same thing. I will only download an app. I won't download an app for a store. Generally, I will download it for a specific piece of information that I need that's easier to access that way. But most of the time, I want to go to Google. I want to get to your website.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think with responsive design, you can you just have to kind of set it like Ron Popeil, set it and forget it. You don't have you just have to do it once. Whenever I build sites, I typically use Joomla instead of WordPress, and the reason why is because I use certain themes that are responsive, but you can actually have things show up only on the phone or tablet instead of the desktop. So this is actually really cool. So that way I can push the phone number in what the equivalent of a widget would be in WordPress. We call it modules in Joomla. I can push a module right at the phone number, right at the top, so that when they access the site on the phone, which is responsive, an additional little widget shows up at the top and says, here, click here to give us a call now, right?
Yeah.
And I love that.
I agree.
Did you know that
you can do that in WordPress too, Jay?
You can do that in WordPress, but with Jetpack. I do know Jetpack has a feature where it only shows up on certain things. So, but with WordPress, you have to have some sort of app, or I'm sorry, some sort of
plugin.
Well, thank you. It has to be a plugin, whereas it's a core feature in Joomla with certain themes.
Yeah.
So less resources.
If you use the GoMobi thing that I mentioned earlier, you have a number of different interface types, but the simplest interface, one that they started with, was an icon-based interface. And all you have to do is drag the icons around to the layout that you want, and it literally takes you a few minutes. You can set up a mobile site very, very quickly, and the column, just click it and boom. So a lot of flexibility within that.
Yeah.
It's necessarily responsive design. It's a proprietary system, but it's very easy to use. And
I see you have one here for Willie's Bakery.
Yeah, that's a site that I built.
Okay.
And it's just got the standard interface, but it will give you a really good idea. You can call it up on your browser, and it will appear on your browser, on your computer, more or less the way you would see it on a smartphone.
Yep.
And you can go through it and see what it actually does.
Yep.
See for yourself.
Yeah.
So, folks, I'm looking at the time and going, oh, dear heavens.
Yeah.
And also, I was wanting to alert you all to using the comment tracker. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. in the green room later, because there's a way that I would have been able to show Nathan's comment on the screen so that our viewers would have been able to see what we're talking about. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit when we stop the broadcast. But we're at 9:50 right now, so I think perhaps it would be a good idea for us to close now. And hopefully we've pointed up a number of things that we all need to pay attention to as we think about making our clients' experience more enjoyable and convenient. So thank you very much, and I hear Henry in the background there.
He likes that. He had a little comment.
So thank you all, and we'll be back here, same place, same time next week. So this is Lowell Ann signing off for today.